Then some very interesting values calculated. The RAA, relative attack attractiveness. That's a pluggable algorithm. So you can either use the built-in one or plug your own into that. And at the end, it's trying to assess, that's very useful for bigger models, to assess every technical components, every component, and identify those components that are very attractive for hackers to attack, actually. So that means they are storing or processing very much of the very sensitive rated data, for example. And it's also taking into account the surrounding components. So if, for example, you have a value with a very high, that's a relative scale from 0 to 100%, 100 being the most interesting ones, usually. So if you're having some component which has a very high scale on that, high value on that scale, and surrounding components close to that, like monitoring things and stuff like that, not at all that interested of attackers to take over, because there are no sensitive data being stored to then steal. But they are having a direct connection to the very valuable one, then they might also increase in that value. So this also takes some lateral movement stuff and some side doors and to get into the actual target things into account, like a pen tester or a real attacker would do. And the outcome is interesting for bigger models where you have to focus on the most pressing things first. And that means you see then that according to that calculation, these and those are those components that possibly should be receiving some hardening security-wise first.